Right guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. In this one I'm just going to be showing you a little tip. If you've got a prime rear wheel fitted to your bike, so that could be a road wheel or a gravel wheel, doesn't make any difference, and you want to improve the freer body running a bit and also make it maybe a little bit noisier as well at the same time, I'll just go ahead and I'll show you a little trick. So here we have the prime wheel. This just happens to be a Black Edition 38 rim brake wheel. So this is top of the range one, but it doesn't matter which wheel this is. This could be any of the wheels, so it doesn't ignore the fact that this is the top of the range one. This could be any of the wheels in the range. So first thing you do is, I say this is a brand new wheel, so first thing we do is take the freer body off before you even bother fitting it to your bike, because you notice that I'll just do a sound on it and I'll spin it for you. So that's the noise from stock as it is. Now with these, the freer body, there's always a lot of resistance on there. Oh, it doesn't spin very well. If you put the anti-bite guard at the top there and just spin it, it doesn't spin very well. There's a lot of resistance. I mean, it only went half a turn. That's all it went around there from there. So it doesn't spin very well. So first thing we do is remove that, and I'll show you why that is and why you do this before you even bother fitting it to your bike, or even when it's brand new. So if you got one and you haven't done it, then take the wheel out, remove your cassette off of there. Like I said, this is a rim brake wheel, so you can do it on the disc as well, just a different way obviously of removing the freer body off of there, because obviously if it's a through axle setup, not a quick release. So to remove this one, obviously this is a rim brake, so if you want to know how to remove the disc brake version, I'll just put a link up on the screen there for you. So to do this one, all you need is a couple of 5mm hex heads. So just put one in one side like that of the cap and one in the other, and then to remove it, just hold the non-drive side and undo this one anti-clockwise like that, and then the end cap will come off like that. Just unscrew that, and there you have the end cap like so. So then you can just get hold of the freer body and pull that off. Now, so I'll remove that like so. Now you can see the problem straight away. The grease that is on there, you can see that, it's just this thick white grease that, terrible, whatever grease it is, it's just so sticky. What happens is it's so thick put on there that the pulls themselves, they just stick. You can barely see that, but if you just push it in, it basically sticks in there before it even moves. The grease is horrendous in there. It's just so thick. Look, there you go, it's just stuck down. It's not even working, and then it springs back up. How long it takes to move. Awful. And it's just caked in it, in there. It's so thick. It's so thick that it's just, the drag that's creating is unbelievable. And not only that, in the hub itself, you can't even see the bearing in there. It's just full. And the ring, the ratchet, the ring in there is just full packed with it as well. Just really thick in there. So what you got to do is clean that out of there with some degreaser on a cloth, soak it, and then stick the cloth in there. Obviously you want to remove that spacer off the axle like that, so you can see it on there as well. Get that off and clean out it down inside, that bearing in there, the face of it and all the ring in there with the teeth on it. Clean that out properly so you can actually see the bearing. So you're going to get rid of all that white grease off of there. and then the same on the end of here. Clean all that off. You can wipe most of it off, and then the pulls themselves, to get it out of there, you just use a little paintbrush with some degreaser and degrease that and leave it to dry thoroughly. And then, so I'll do that and then I'll come back to you when it's cleaned up. So there we have the Freer body cleaned up, and see there inside the hub itself, you can see got rid of all that thick white grease out of it. So what you want to do is get yourself some grease. It doesn't matter what grease it is, as long as it's a good quality bike grease. What you want to do first is just put some over the axle, just a little smear like that over there before you put anything on, and then get your spacer and slide that over like that. Push that down so it meets up with the bearing in there, and then with your Freer body itself, just down inside there where that spacer would sit, I'll just put a little smear around in there as well, like so. Don't want too much in there, just a smear in there. And then the pulls themselves on these, what you want to do, so you saw what it's like before, it's absolutely caked in that grease. What you want to do is get a paintbrush and just grease the pulls themselves. You can stick the paintbrush in underneath them a bit as well and put some grease on them like that, over them and underneath them. Just push some grease in underneath them like that. Just do that to all four of them, like so. And then before we slide that on, I'll just put some grease around inside just a light smear in there, inside the actual, down inside the Freer itself. That just helps to stop it getting stuck on the axle, because there's no grease on it when it's new. So you can slide the Freer back on and just turn it anti-clockwise to engage it while you're pushing in on it, like that. And then with your end cap to go on, just make sure there's a little bit of grease just on the threads inside there, because you don't want that getting stuck on at a later date. So put some grease on there before you put it back on, and that applies if it was a disc wheel, same thing. And just screw that back on, and then get your hex heads again. Just hold the non-drive side in place and just nip this side up clockwise like that. So without all that thick grease in there, you can hear out the difference in it if I just spin it up. You compare that to before. The difference in the noise. So if you like your Freer a bit noisier, then that'll also work just doing that. Makes it a lot noisier. And also gets rid of all that thick horrible grease in it. It's just doing it no good. There's far too much grease in there for it to work properly. It's just over greased from new. So I said that'll apply to any of the wheels, doesn't matter what they are, disc, rim, and any ones in the range. Take yours apart before you even bother fitting it to your bike. So I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, remember give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till next one, ride safe and I'll see you then.